What's up, gamers? It's Will777JP back at it again with another one. And y'all, the Xbox price increase is gonna be so good for me. But just temporarily. It's actually terrible. But for me, Will777JP is gonna be very good. Now, last week, I showed you guys, or I posted a video explaining the price increase. I will link that video at the description of this video so you guys can go take a look at that in case you missed it. But real quick, Xbox May 1st put out a statement that they are increasing pricing. So the Series X is gonna go from $499.99 to $599.99. The Series S is gonna go from $299 to $379.99, so $80 increase. The 1 terabyte Series S, I think, is going up to $450 from the $350 price point, or $430, something like that. Headsets, controllers, the whole 9 yards. Even the games are going to be going up to $80 starting holiday season 2025. Not all games, just some. Well, anyways, after I found that information out, I made the video. A couple days later, I was checking to see availability, because that same day, before a lot of retailers could increase that price, they sold out. They sold out of the Series X. They sold out of the Series S. Now, I believe that a big reason why they sold out is because there isn't that much stock, right? Xbox this generation is about 50% behind PlayStation, if not a little bit more. Well, as I was checking, I'm like, damn, the demand's gotta be pretty high. Then I went to GameStop to see what trade-in value would be. And GameStop had it all blanked out. They currently didn't have a value for trade-in on Xbox Series S or S. So I smelled opportunity. So if you guys don't know, in holiday or Christmas 2024, so 1.5 years ago, I became an Xbox owner for the very first time. I purchased a Series X. And I purchased that Series X for $350. I thought that was a good deal. At the time, Starfield was coming out or came out. Redfall had been out, even though the game was shit. But games were starting to come out that were exclusive to the Xbox ecosystem. So I saw that price at Walmart. I went ahead and got it. Well, a couple days later, I'm telling my sister all about my new Series X, and she's like, oh, dude, me and my husband were talking about getting you one for Christmas, because I've been telling her about playing Starfield and stuff, and how I didn't want to spend, $500 for a console that I may not use that much, right? So she's like, me and my husband were talking that we're going to wait a little bit, because there's about a month left before Christmas is here, to see if there's any sales. Her husband gets deals from his job, and he already could get a $75 savings on it, and that's what they were gonna do if there were no other sales. So she's like, let me just give you the money for it, that'll be your Christmas present. All right, cool. About a week later, the Series S went on sale for $199, for $200, y'all. I went ahead and bought another one. Why did I do that? Well, my son already owns a Series S. I purchased for him winter or holiday 2020 when it came out. I believe that was 2021. Sorry about that. He got the Switch 2020, but the Series S he got in 2021. And I paid retail for it. It was $300 and some with taxes. But this one I bought last year along my Series X. Because it was so cheap, man. For $200, I was like, you know what? If my son's Series S craps out, then we have a backup. Well, of course, I never used it. It's been sitting there this whole time. Well, I went on eBay to see what pricing is like now that the price increase changed. Guys, the Series S has been selling brand new for $350 on eBay. Yes, you heard that right. $350. The Series X has been selling for the Series X has been selling for $450 pre-owned. So people are making a killing, which means that if you bought a Series X day one and you've been playing it for 4 freaking years, you can get almost all your money back for that thing. Right around $250 to $300 is what you can get for it right now, pre-owned, which is insane to me. So I took a gander. I put it on Facebook Marketplace to see what kind of offers I would get. And I had one person hit me up who said, I will buy it from you and I'll give you $350. Woo! I said, okay, let's meet up. So we set up a date and I'm going to go there right now. I just got the message. I'm playing Exhibition 33 and I'm going to go out there and check it out. Now, the only thing with my Series S is that it is brand new, but I did open it up. I was going to take one of the controllers last minute. I left the controller in there, but I did take the seals off. But besides that, everything's in the packaging, original packaging, never been taken out, never been used. And I'm going to go ahead and sell this thing. So I'll catch you guys when I get back. Hey guys, so while I'm waiting in the vehicle, waiting for the guy who's going to buy my Series S to come in, I decided to go on eBay and search up right now what the Series S is selling for right now. And as you can see here, $344 for a brand new, $290 for a brand new one, another one for $450 with an extra controller. So yeah, I mean, people are getting, look at this one, $221. It's actually pretty cheap, brand new, but look at that delivery, $28, $325, $404. This one comes with a Gilded Hunter bundle, for Destiny, $380, brand new, $325, $392. So, I mean, it's selling for a pretty penny. Now it's selling more than what retail is, right? Or retail was, because it used to be $299. But yeah, I mean, it's unfortunate, but when I get back, I will tell you guys why I think it's going to be negative in the long run. But here we go. All right, we'll see you guys in a bit. And we are back, except I'm a little bit richer. So here it is, y'all. So $150, $250, $350. So very nice dude. We met up. It was a good transaction. He ended up giving me, I gave him a pre-owned controller that I had that had a little bit of stick drift on there. I told him that it did have stick drift. I did not try to hustle him or anything because I was going to bring the price down to $330, but I decided to bring the stick drift controller, and if he wanted it, he would pay me $350 for it because I know he can get at least $20 for the controller, or I'm sorry, $17 for the controller at GameStop. So he was like, yeah, I'll take it for $350 with the controller. I explained to him what the controller, trades in for. I told him everything, right? I wanted to be 100% transparent with him because I like it when people are 100% transparent with me. We opened up the Xbox. He checked everything out. Everything was sealed, like I said. I did tell him it was sitting in my closet for over a year, and but we never touched it. I even told him that the only reason I opened it was because we were going to grab that controller from in there, but we ended up getting a different one, so we changed our mind. But the reason we're going to get the controller is because of the stick drift one, and I took it to GameStop. I was going to trade it in for a different one. They were going to give me $17, but the stick drift wasn't too terrible. Like, it was only if you didn't touch it, then it would slightly move the camera a little bit. But if you're playing, it worked okay. So I told him all that, and I asked him why did he want to buy an Xbox now, and he said, well, I've been putting it off. I'm not really a gamer like that, but I figured that with Game Pass, I would, the Series X would be the best bet for me. He didn't want to spend $600 or $400 or $500 on a freaking Series X, especially since he's not planning on buying any games because of Game Pass. And he's actually regretting it because he was supposed to buy it last week, but he didn't. And now pricing went up. So why do I think that the pricing is terrible? Well, first off, we all know Xbox has been doing very, very bad this console generation. Main reason I believe they've been doing terrible is because of games. You know, the first 4 years of the Xbox generation, they hardly came out with anything. Where on the other side of things, the competition, PlayStation, was doing very, very well. I mean, just in the first half of the generation, PlayStation came out with God of War. They came out with Horizon Forbidden West. They came out with Spider-Man 2. They have Miles Morales, Spider-Man, Miles Morales. They did the Uncharted Lost Legacy. They did Last of Us Part 1, Last of Us Part 2, what is it? Days Gone Remastered, Astrobot, Game of the Year, and the list goes on and on and on, right? They had a lot of games which attracted a lot of people from the jump. Xbox didn't come out with Halo until 2 years later, right? Was it 2 or a year and a half later? It wasn't until then. Then when Halo came out, Halo Infinite, it didn't get the best reception right away. The campaign was decent, but the multiplayer had a lot of issues, right? So I think that hurt it a lot in the beginning. And then, of course, with them having Game Pass, they weren't selling many games, and it just became a mess. So if Xbox would have been more aggressive with games in the beginning, if some of those purchases they made, at the end of the Xbox One generation, if some of those games have came out sooner, day one of the same, or day one as the console, I think Xbox would have fared way better this console generation. So that's why I think that they are in the position they are now. As far as pricing goes, this is the first time ever that I can think of that a console pricing went up as the generation went on. I've never seen that before, ever. Now, PlayStation also had an increase in pricing in other parts of the world, not in the American market. Xbox did it everywhere, right? And it's unfortunate because if PlayStation, which they haven't announced a price increase, and I'm sure they're going to do a price increase, right? They're not just going to stay behind and say, hey, you know what? Xbox went up, Nintendo went up, we're going to keep it the same. I don't think they're going to do that. I think that Nintendo opened the door, and now everybody's coming through. Now everybody's going to charge $80 for their games. But if I was PlayStation, right, at the current price that they're at now, we saw their reports for the last quarter of the ending of 2024, and hardware was the most profitable it's ever been. If I was PlayStation, I would keep pricing the same as long as I could and absorb all those people that would have purchased an Xbox or a Nintendo and make the sale on that, right? I mean, right now, you can get a digital PS5 bundle with Game of the Year Astrobot for $350, y'all. That's the same amount of money that this dude just gave me for a freaking Series S. It's insane to me. But why do I think that's terrible? Well, that's part of the reason why I think it's terrible for the gaming industry. I think that they're going to price a lot of people out. I think new customers who would have gotten maybe a Series S or a digital PS5, some of those people will not be purchasing one. So we're going to be losing. I don't think we're going to lose current gamers at the same rate of the amount of gamers we're going to lose that would have came in new to the ecosystem. It's going to be tough for families to be able to pay $80 for games, right? $70 was a little tougher, but man, that extra $10 does make a difference, right? You can get a deluxe edition of a game for $80 nowadays. Now you're just getting the base game. But yeah, I think that with this new pricing, they're definitely not going to get new customers. I think they're just going to get more money out of the same customers. And I think also in the first year or two, you're going to have, they already had a problem selling games until they went third party and they got PlayStation and Nintendo, or they will have Nintendo to sell to. But I think that as time goes on, Game Pass subscriptions are going to increase, which is awesome for them, but game sales are going to go down. And I think that this is going to screw the economy. Right now, I am so thankful I bought a lot of these $10, $15, $20, $30 video games, because if the price continues to increase, the retro market is just going to blow up. Which, by the way, the retro market has been blowing up, right? If you guys ever thought about buying a PS3, N64, Super Nintendo, a Sega Genesis, GameCube, PS2, whatever, you're spending more now than you would have a few years ago, where it should have been the opposite, right? They're getting older. But I think the PS5 is gonna be known, and the Series X are gonna be known, one, as the last consoles in console history that will allow physical games. I hope not. I'm like 80% there for Xbox that this is their last console generation where you can play physical games on it. For PlayStation, I'm like 65-70% sure that it will. But with the PS5 and Xbox Series X, these are still consoles that you can play PS4, PS5 games. On the Series X and S, you can play Xbox One, Xbox 360, and OG Xbox games. Not all of them, of course, but a lot of them. So these consoles, I think, are going to go up in value as the generations move forward. So the next Xbox console generation, the next PlayStation, the PS6, I think that the PS5 is going to be more valuable than ever, especially with the Pro, man, with how well it runs a lot of these games. So if you have an Xbox Series X right now, or even a Series S or a PS5, PS5 Pro, I really would think about holding tight to it, man. And this is just some random dude on YouTube who's speculating, right? I could be 1,000% wrong on this, but that's where you guys come in. Let me know down in the comment sections what you think. Do you think I sold too early? Do you think that I am completely wrong? Do you think that this is just a phase and Xbox will eventually bring their pricing back down? What do you think is going to happen in the future of gaming in regards to pricing and the retro market and how all that's going to work out? But thank you so much for being here, man. I really do appreciate it. Hit that subscribe button. Help me reach my goal of 600 subscribers before the month of May ends. And also, if you're currently subscribed to the channel, thank you, thank you, thank you. Hit the like, hit the comment, hit the notification bell so you stay up to date whenever I post videos. We'll catch you in the next one. Keep it gaming.